Okay, everybody, so at this point we have moved on to Unit 3, and we're going to talk about all things polynomials. We did some adding, subtracting, and multiplying last unit with our complex numbers, talking about, we were using we did some combining of like terms, so, we combined constants, we combined imaginaries, that type of thing. As far as adding polynomials goes, this is a refresher of an Algebra 1 topic, but still nonetheless worth refreshing. It's very important that you note that there is a plus in between these two polynomials. So I'm not going to do multiplication here. I'm not going to do the claw or the rainbow or the foil or however you want to say it. I'm not multiplying here, I'm adding. And when we add polynomials, we look at two things in order to be considered like terms. The first thing, they have to have the same variable. Okay? Have to have the same variable. Second thing, have to have the same exponent. Alright, so in this case, let's see if we can stretch this out a little bit just so that we can sort of see the whole thing. Move this over, stretch this way. There we go. Okay. So because this is addition in between the two, I know that I don't really have any work to do as far as any multiplying. Excuse me. If I were to multiply through everything by the positive 1, it's not going to do anything to change anything. So now I start looking at same variable, same exponent. So that term there has an x to the third. I look for any other x to the thirds. There are no other x to the third, so there's nothing for that 3x to the third to combine with. 12x squared and a 5x squared. Cool. We're going to be able to combine those. I have a 9x minus 6x here, and I have a positive 6 and a positive 7. Now the sign has to go with the number right after, the term right after it, so make sure that you're very aware of the sign as well. So now let's put this in descending order. By descending order, I just mean by the highest exponent down to the lowest exponent. So I'm going to put my 3x to the third first. When I combine a positive 12x squareds plus 5 more x squareds, that leaves me with 17x squareds. When I add I add 9x's, and then I have 9x's, then I subtract 6x's, I'm left with 3x's. And when I do 6 plus 7, I get 13. Now none of these are like terms, there's nothing left to combine, so that would be my simplified form. Notice, when I add variables, I do nothing to their exponents. So when I did 12x squared plus 5x squared, it was 17x squared. It's not x to the fourth. We don't do anything to the exponents. Okay, so I'm going to make that little note down here in the corner. When we add, or subtract for that matter, variables, we do nothing to the exponents. Okay. So, let's do another one of these. Once again, make note that there is a plus in between, right here. Because it's addition, I can just go ahead and combine the like terms. The parentheses really don't matter. I see a 2x. And I see a minus 2x, I see a negative 7x squareds, and a positive 1x squareds, and then I see a positive 1 over here, doesn't have any constants to combine with. So let's get our combine on. Descending order by the highest exponent I see is a 2, so let's do the negative 7x squareds plus 1x squareds is a negative 6x squareds. When I do positive 2x's minus 2x's, well, that's 0x's. So these kind of just cancel out, and then the plus 1 has to come down. That's in descending order, and it's simplified.